So the rise of populism, of course, we always have to pick on the Donald. I went to a website they were ranking his best tweets of 2018, so I thought I'd share a couple with you. So, because he was doing a temper tantrum. The first one we said, lowest rated Oscars in history. Problem is, we don't have stars anymore. Even except, of course, your president. Just kidding, of course. Such a humble guy. And to President of the United States, on my first try, I think that would qualify as not only smart, but genius, a very stable genius at that. So, very, very self-aware individual, as you can see. But the issue of populism, and he's a populist, I guess, we've seen this affect the issues in England. We still don't have a resolution to Brexit, and what we know is it's not going to hurt just England, it would hurt all of Europe. And yet somehow the sides can't get their act together, and they continue to self-implode. So who knows? It's very unlikely that she'll be the prime minister by the end of the year. They may have a general election. They may have another Brexit vote. All of this is because of these issues that people are perceiving. This is one of them. This is, again, this is before many of your time, but back in the mid-'80s, there was this commercial called Where's the Beef?
He's putting us under the supervisor.
If you ask me, which you didn't, we should call the owner.
At Wendy's, the hamburger we modestly call a single has more beef than the Big Mac or Whopper.
We've got the owner.
Hello? Where's the beef?
Wendy's kind of people never ask, where's the beef?
I don't think there's anybody there.
Where's the beef? Okay, that's the issue, is there obviously is a beef, and one of the biggest beefs is the 1%, or the perception of the 1%. And it's more than a perception. If you take a look at this graph for the US, for example, just in the last 30-odd years alone, the top 1% has almost doubled their share of national income, while at the same time, the bottom 50% are 40% lower. So when you look at this statistics, this seems completely obvious that something is awry and something needs to be changed. There is some change going on. In the last year, the economists pointed out that in the last year alone, there's been some shrinkage, although still, that top 1% is almost 47% of the wealth, for example. And there's a great book. This guy wrote this book called Anywheres versus Somewheres. And interestingly, you can buy it. He's English, but it could really apply to anywhere. And if you want to hear somebody interesting speak to this question, you can download this YouTube video by Stephen Harper, where if you listened to him give this presentation, and it's really quite well done, quite professional, there's no way you would say he was a conservative prime minister. You would say, oh, he's such a thoughtful individual, and he seems to care about the downtrodden. And I'm not trying to be cynical with respect to Stephen Harper. But really what he's trying to explain is, what is it that's causing the grief? He said, an anywhere is somebody that really could be anywhere. They could work anywhere. They could be in any country. They've got skills that are transferable. And the somewhere is an individual that has enough skills to be exactly where they are and has virtually no chance of moving anywhere, whether it's upward mobility or even to another geographic area. The somewheres versus the anywheres.